dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
From high atop the Nashville Fairgrounds, welcome to round number 10 of the Fired Up Esports League. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you for this one. Tagging in for Mr. Mike DeMone, who is normally in the booth here tonight, but he has some family matters that need taken care of, so you guys are stuck with me for the next few laps anyways, as we are going to be doing, looks like 100 laps here for the Let's Do Si Do 100, presented by McNamara Dairy. Currently under the practice session right now. Only 10 trucks making the call to come here to Music City, USA. Jeremy Grant, Johnny Avila, Brian Whitney, Cody Porter, Andrew Ton, Tyler Seville, Clayton White, Alex Link, Anthony Emmerich, and Oscar Jensen, the 10 who decided to show up here tonight for round number 10. Just a little bit over a half mile here at the Nashville Fairgrounds, some of the most historic pavement you're going to find here in the Rocky Mountain State, or Rocky Top State, I should say. I do apologize for getting that wrong. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of drivers that used to run here in the late model division who used to have to get police escorts to Opryland USA and the Ryman Auditorium prior to that, so that they could do their set for the Grand Ole Opry. And a lot of times their sets had to be pushed back quite a bit if either one of them won the race here in the late model division. As we just got about a minute left here in the practice session. Jeremy Grand currently sitting atop the pile. Johnny Avila right on his heels though. As of course not. That would have been too easy. There we go. That's what I needed. Bear with me, folks, is kind of being thrown to the wolves here. Getting ready to throw it on over to qualifying here. As we are going to bring up, as soon as my timing and scoring want to play nicely with me. There we go. And under qualifying right now, Jeremy Grand out on track as we are going to, there he is in the 7. Alex Link of the 91, the Express eSports entry. Alex Link goes to the top of the pile. He's one of the first ones to play a time at qualifying, immediately bumped off by the 54 of Andrew Ton. In the Union Pacific, number 54. Brian Whitney jumps to the top of the heap. There he is. Clayton, Jeremy Grand goes purple in the first sector. Unfortunately, throws the lap away. Platters the wall coming out of 4. It's able to get it towed and stopped. Cody Porter currently sitting 5th quick. Johnny Avila just blisters one. Wow. Waiting on a few drivers to still come down pit side. Try to get some times posted here. Ton testing the outside retaining wall. Clayton White on his first flyer in the Got Milk, number 53. Looking to lay a clean one down here. Tyler Seville also out on track in the 19. Oi. Well, that's going to be an end for Clayton White. Tyler Seville in the cookout number 19 is currently sitting 5th quick, looking to improve on that as Matt Brinson jumps up to 6th quick. Seville looking to improve. Does improve on time, not improve position though. Jeremy Grand out on track. There he is, trying to get this one clean lap in. Only one's going to count. He's got to make it happen here. About a minute or so left here in qualifying. Graham's going to come around for his final lap here. Does not set a time. Oscar Jensen currently sits on pit road. Still waiting on Anthony Emmerich and Tyler Travis, along with Oscar Jensen, to try to lay down some times here. Only 7 trucks have actually laid a clean time down. Jeremy Grand, unfortunately, looks like he threw away both laps. And he did. Now Jensen's starting to roll it. There he is. In the Splash and Go Graphics Ford F-150. One of only 2 Fords making the call tonight here to come to Nashville. And that's going to do it for qualifying. As we are going to go to our starting grid here tonight. 12 trucks making the call. Johnny Avila setting quick time. Cody Porter going to be starting to his outside in row number 1. Brian Whitney and Andrew Ton making up row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Tyler Seville and Matt Brinson. Alex Link and Oscar Jensen making up row number 4, with row 5 going to Clayton White and Jeremy Garand. Anthony Emmerich and Tyler Travis rounding out your starting field of 12 here tonight. 4 sets of tires to get it done here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. As we were just waiting for the last couple of stragglers to grid up. Thank you so much for making this a part of your evening here on a kind of balmy Thursday night, at least in upstate New York it is. Let's take a quick look at the weather conditions here in Nashville, though. Just almost 3:30 in the sim, we got a 5-mile-an-hour wind blowing straight down the back straightaway. 79-degree ambient air temperature, 101-degree track temperature under partly cloudy skies, only 40% water drain in the air, which means these engines are going to be making gobs of horsepower here tonight in Music City. Looks like we've got all 12 trucks slated to roll it. As we are just waiting for... There we go. As the field starts to roll it behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Avila going to have the button. Geico restart zone not in effect tonight. Because there is no Geico restart zone here at the fairgrounds. However, it is now time to rock and roll. As the lights get ready to go out on the pace truck across the start-finish line there. We're getting ready to turn them loose for 100 laps of action here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Round 10 of the Fired Up eSports Truck League. Ryan Avila in the 63 has the button as we head down the back straightaway. Pace truck's going to have a short time to duck on off as we get to the 3-4 complex. I've waited a long time to say this. The only thing that's left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab your guitar because it's time to get it on in Music City. Race fans, it's show time! Porter gets a better getaway from that top lane. That's something these guys are going to have to be mindful of all night. On restarts, is that second lane is where you want to be, apparently. Porter jumps out to about a truck length and a half lead. Here comes Avila battling back on the bottom side. Porter slams the door on him as right now Brinson and Kahn go door to door going through 1 and 2. Side by side behind him is Alex Lake and Tyler Seville right there. Everybody's starting to get single filed out. The battle continues to rage on up front as they are side by side. Ford on Toyota as the 04 of Cody Porter has led every lap so far officially. Johnny Avila, your pole sitter, trying to get back in front of him. But Porter is definitely running a line that seems to be the quicker way around, at least early going here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. See, I almost said it. You guys were going to catch me, weren't you? Porter, Avila, Whitney, Brinson, Link, Kahn, Seville, Garand, Emmerich, and Jensen, your top 10. As battle rages on for the last spot in the top 10. There is Emmerich in the 23, Clayton White and Oscar Jensen going after each other. Those three trucks were leaning on each other heavily in the earlier going. Checking a look up in front of them, that's 4th and 5th, as Andrew Ton points the wrong way on a one-way street. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened to the Union Pacific, number 54. See him running right there with the 19 of Tyler Seville. Just overcooks it going into 3, and around she goes. Everybody doing a great job to avoid hitting that Chevy Silverado. He didn't hit the wall, and nobody hit him. So we're going to rack him, stack him, and try it again. As we go back live, Oscar Jensen in the 32, the only one that has taken it pit side so far. Not sure exactly what's going on there, as he's now rolling again. Looks like a little bit of damage repair for the 32. Cody Porter going to have the button this time. Johnny Avila is looking to have the same thing happen that happened on the green flag. Just now the roles reversed, as he's going to be restarting on the outside. So Porter going to have the trigger in that Ford F-150 on the low shelf. Again, need to thank our good friends, our very good friends, where am I? Hold on 1 second. I'd forget my own head, folks, if it wasn't attached, just so you know. As we're going to take a look at our sponsor tonight, Quality Products of Yesteryear, McNamara Dairy, located in the Connecticut River in Plainfield, New Hampshire, since 1950. Today, there are 3 generations of McNamara that live and work on the farm together. They are committed to providing excellent care for both their animals and the quality of products being released to the public. McNamara Dairy for all your dairy needs. And joining me now, the boss man has decided to break out the headset. Jonathan Leach, welcome to the booth and welcome to Nashville.
Tony, how's it going? I figured you
Well, 1 second, John. I got to turn you way up because I can barely hear you.
I'm sure you'll take care of it.
I'm working on it. Unfortunately, that's about as high as I can get you to go.
That's all right. I'll take care of it on my end, Tony. But I've been listening to you talk about the beginning of this race, and a little bit busy there on your end, I guess. What are you seeing so far, and what are you laps have you been already observing? What are you expecting to happen as this race continues on?
Well, what I'm looking for, John, is who's going to be the first one to try that outside line.
Yellow.
Well, there we go. We're back under caution, so we're going to see what took place here. Looks like Jensen and Travis getting into each other. Here's Travis getting back up to speed. Jensen has put it on the hauler. That's no bueno. Let's take a look at what happened here. Travis was a little tail wag coming out of 2. Overcooks it going into 3. Jensen does the exact same thing. And with just like that, we are back under caution. We're going to take this moment to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Steven Cherrick. I'm the rear tire changer on the number 24 GMS Chevrolet, and you're watching Sim Racing Media.
As we are back from the hallowed grounds of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Porter and Avila going to start it side by side one more time. Porter, Avila, Brinson, Link, Whitney, Garand, White, Seville, Emmerich, and Ton, your top 10. Oscar Jensen deciding to put it on the hauler early. Tyler Travis, the only other truck still running, in 11th right now. Lights should be going out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck this time
Green.
And I'm not live. Well, there's the first one for tonight. Porter getting a good getaway. Avila works the inside, sends it going into 3. Side-by-side action for the lead of this piece. Porter on the high side, Avila on the low side. Leaning on each other going into turn number 1, still door to door. Alex Link in the 91 sitting back there going, go ahead, guys, just have your fun. I'll just pick up the pieces after you're done. Now makes a move on his teammate as Link looks to the inside of Avila for second. Avila defends on the top lane. Coming down the front straightaway with a good head of steam. That opens the door for Brinson to get to the tailgate of Alex Link in the 91. Brinson trying to make some headway right now. Your biggest mover, we have a tie with Alex Link in 3rd, up 4. Jeremy Garand up 4, sitting in 6th as well. The battle starting to kind of quiet down just a little bit at the front of this piece is Brinson and Whitney going after each other. Brinson in the 15, Link in the 91. Whitney trying to get up there in the 90 or in the 76. That all blue truck behind them. Gorgeous looking paint scheme on that rig. As your closest battle on track continues to be this one up in front, as they've already carved out a half second to the good over that battle for third. Avila looks like he might be content just to follow Porter around right now. Not really put the truck in a bad situation, just ride. Checking it back in behind him. The 15 of Brinson just stalking the 91 of Alex Link. Brinson Engineering versus Express Esports. As they run stem to stern down the back straightaway with a good head of steam. Love that speed cam on the front straightaway as Brinson and Link go door to door. Going through 1 and 2, the 15 makes the move. Can he get it to stick? Yes. Brinson now up into third, Link back to fourth. As everybody else pretty single filed out right now.
And, you know, Tony, this is sort of what I was expecting to see, and start seeing some guys single file pretty quickly, because at this track, there's really not a multi-groove situation. You're kind of just waiting for people to make a mistake. And, you know, it's been a long time since I've called a race or been a part of racing on this track, but it really is a lot of fun because you just kind of sit there behind the guy you're chasing. And the whole idea is, you see right here is number 19 is trying to get underneath the 7. You're just waiting for somebody to enter a little bit hard, a little bit too high, lock up the tires, and then it opens the door for you to go right underneath.
Well, the two cautions that we've seen so far have been both from somebody overcooking it going into 3. And it's very easy to do here, as now the 19 of Tyler Seville works the inside of Jeremy Garand. Garand gives a lot of room and a lot of respect as here comes the Got Milk number 53 of Clayton White, looking to get up there, as Garand's starting to hemorrhage spots right now. He's got to stop the bleeding, as Andrew Ton on a recovery drive after looping it to bring out caution number 1. Looks like cold tires might have been the case there, as now that he's got some heat in those Goodyear Eagles, he's able to claw his way back up through the field. Meanwhile, up in front, Porter, Avila, and Brinson, the 3 of them throw a blanket over him as they've got almost a second and a half anyways to the good over the 91 of Alex Link. And Link is falling back into the clutches of Brian Whitney. As there you see the Unical 76 of Whitney working the backside of the 91 Toyota of Link. 2 Fords, 3 Chevys, and the rest are Toyotas here tonight to take the start at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Round number 10 of the Fired Up Esports League. Let us know if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us know that you're enjoying what you're watching. And if you haven't done so already, as I checked the analytics earlier, most of the people that are watching these races, you guys aren't subscribed, and I'm surprised because we have racing just about 7. Well, we now have it 7 nights a week, as we just picked up a super late model series for Saturday evening. So subscribe, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action. Meanwhile, the action going on hot and heavy here at the Nashville Fairgrounds is Lincoln Whitney still running stem to stern. Andrew Ton trying to chase down Clayton White, as the 53 has his rearview mirror filled with that 54 Union Pacific Chevy of Ton. Lincoln Whitney goes side by side as the 91 brushes the wall coming off at 2. That's going to open the door for the Unical 76 of Brian Whitney to get by.
I'm seeing, and Tony, in this racing, I'm seeing a lot of people fishtail coming out of these corners from getting on the throttle a little bit too quickly. I think as the tires start going away, we're going to start seeing a lot more of that, which is going to possibly lead to another one of those loops that I heard you mentioning I believe, 20 laps or so ago. Really, really interesting battle right here. I like seeing the side-by-side racing. It's really difficult to do that, especially, and this is my point immediately, the 53 Got Milk machine ends up in the wall being side-by-side right there, and it's not really the room to run side-by-side here at this track like you would like to. And again, it's make a mistake, get by them with the mistake.
Oh, you can run side-by-side, but not at the pace these guys are trying to set in these heavy, top-heavy, high center of gravity NASCAR trucks. But these guys are making it work right now, as looks like Brinson has gotten by Avila. He now sets his sights on trying to get by Cody Porter as Avila. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Ryan. Looks like he might have a little bit of a wow on the right side of that truck. Either that or the sun's hitting it wrong. No, he's clean. So, however, that is the 9 of Tyler Travis, who has cheese grated the right side of that Toyota Tundra more times than he probably cares to admit. As here comes Ton on the inside of Link. That is your pass for 6th right now. As White looking to get by Link as well. Link may have gone too hard too soon, as Cody Porter is trying to run away from Matt Brinson. Brinson, though, having none of it, as that Toyota trying to reel in the highest running Ford, the only running Ford still here for round number 10 of the Fired Up Esports League. Cody Porter, Matt Brinson, Johnny Avila, Brian Whitney, and Tyler Seville, your top 5 as they currently sit. The biggest or closest battle on track right now is between Brinson and Porter. And that is your battle for 1st and 2nd. As we are working lap 44 of 100 here from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Not to be confused with the Nashville Super Speedway, which is only a mile and a half. Just under a mile and a half, actually. This is 0.6 of a mile around. Pretty steeply banked. Nothing too major, but it definitely helps these vehicles get through the corners here, the tight confines of the speedway. Now, there is a quarter-mile bull ring on the front stretch that goes around where some of the pit stalls are. As let's see if we can get the boys up in the blimp to give us a good shot of that. There you see it. You can see the separation for a lot of these guys right now. No real heavy battling going on as we are closing in on, this should be, John, this should be a one-stop race. As we're already working lap 47 of 100. They've got 4 sets of tires to get it done tonight. I don't think you're going to need 3 of those, or at least 2 of those sets are not going to be needed.
No, not unless you see someone go around and you smoke your tires out. And like you said, it is going to be a one-stop race from this point. I don't know if anybody took fuel earlier from the first turnaround, but I don't think taking fuel in the first 15 laps is going to get you all the way. But that depends. I don't know what the fuel load is that these guys are running, and that's my fault for not knowing, jumping in kind of last second to do what I can to help you out. But, for one of our greatest commentators, producers on Sim Racing Media, you complain a lot about being by yourself, but boy, do you take up a lot of the airtime. You don't let these other guys in, man. I haven't been able to say a word.
Well, I mean, you said you were going to be working on a school project. I didn't want to disturb you with that. But
I'm in the show.
But John, you've driven this track. I actually just got this track about 5 minutes before I went live. And I've got to give a tip of the cap to the iRacing scanners and coders, because I've been to this track in the real world. They nailed every crack in the corners on this track, and it's fun to see.
Yeah, well, that's just kudos to iRacing and what they're doing with the laser scanning technology. Vaguely remember, 12, 13 weeks ago, seeing a bunch of iRacing vans. He got trouble right there between the 15 and the number 4.
Cody Porter just got yeeted out of the lead. That brings out the third caution of the night, just past the halfway marker. Let's go back and take a look at what did happen here. There you can see Matt Brinson right on his tailgate. Works it to the inside. Coming through 3 and 4. Still door to door as Brinson trying to lean. He was trying to lean on Porter. Porter tried to shut the door and lean back, but no bueno. And that's the first multi-car or multi-truck crash that we've had tonight. Just past the halfway
definitely
marker.
just short track. And sorry, Tony, didn't mean to cut you off. Just definitely a bunch of short track racing for sure.
That's exactly what that was. And for those of you still in school, like John, it's a basic physics lesson. Two objects cannot occupy the same moment of the space-time continuum. It doesn't work that way. One of these going around. As looks like Brinson wins the battle off pit road, 4 and fuel for him. Tyler Travis electing to stay out. Surprise. As looks like he might be coming in this time. Yes, he is. So Brinson, Whitney, Ton, Seville, White, Avila, Link, Garand, Emmerich, and Cody Porter rounding out your top 10 as Tyler Travis bringing it down pit side. Only one retirement to speak of the 12 that did take the green. That's Oscar Jensen. As the 04 Porter comes back down to try to pit farm that truck. There is your new race leader, Brian Whitney. In the Unical 76 Chevy Silverado.
And Tony, right now is probably not a terrible time while we're getting ready to reset the field to make a booth swap here.
Yeah.
Our own Matthew Metler has made it to the virtual racetrack. He's kind of standing by. I'm about ready to bring him in. Matt, can you hear us?
Loud and clear, boys.
Have you been watching, observing a little bit of this going on right here? Did you see the incident right there between the 15 and the 4? I want to hear your thoughts on it if you'd happen to see it.
I missed that. I was swapping back over to the Discord to send a private message, and then when I swapped back to the race screen, that incident had just unfolded. I did notice the 53 was getting kind of loose on a corner exit right before that all unfolded on the racetrack.
Yeah, what you're going to see a lot of in this track is people over-throttling out of the corners. But I'm going to hand it back off to Tony and you so Tony can get this underway. It's about to go green.
As they gave Matthew Brinson an EOL for being causing that caution. That gives Brian Whitney in the Unical 76 Chevy Silverado the button as we get ready to turn him back loose here with lap 57 in the books. As the pace truck takes that left turn to head down pit road. Whitney in control of the field, brings him into turn number 3. He can see the flagger, has the flag in his hand, gets it pointed straight, jumps on the loud pedal, and we are back underway. As Ton looks like he's going to slot into second. As the 9 of Tyler Travis down on the apron. Let's take a quick look at what's going on here between Clayton White and Johnny Avila.
Oh, Clayton White and Johnny Avila, these are no two strangers to doing business out there on the racetrack. Oh, as he gets on the outside wall there, it looks like just a little bit of contact with the wall. Shouldn't mess the balance of that racetrack up too much. Is 91 of Alex Link. He's eating down on the inside, looking to overtake the 53. And it's easier, it's harder than it looks out there from your seat at home, folks. This is a 2-groove racetrack, but you got to make sure you guys are up on the wheel, especially out on that tight side. If that guy on the bottom gets a little bit of loose, he can push you up in the wall just a little bit, and it looks like that was the byproduct of what happened there, Tony.
It absolutely was, as Brinson and Porter have found each other again. This could get interesting as Porter in front of Brinson after the restart. Anthony Emmerich right behind these two, as Tyler Travis has just had a rough night so far. Completely cheese-gratering the right side of the 9 Toyota. As here comes Porter to the inside of Clayton White. The 7 goes way high, 3 wide down the back straightaway.
You can't get away with that too long here at a track like Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. But these excellent race car drivers right here in the Fuel Fired Up series, they can do it, and we've seen it time and time again, Tony. I don't know how many times Mike and myself have sit here and said, there's a wreck, and somehow these guys miraculously save it. That's a testament to the high caliber of drivers we have featured out here on the racetrack right now. Almost took a little bump and run there from the 15, helping the 04 Cody Porter clear the 53 of Clayton White. You can pitch a blanket over these guys right now on the racetrack. This is where it seems to be the hornet's nest right now, right here in the 4th through 6th position.
As we got a battle for the lead starting to heat up as well, as Ton all over the tailgate of Brian Whitney. Those two have carved out a half second to the good over Tyler Seville. Johnny Avila up there as well, as they've got a second and a quarter back to that battle between the 91, the 4, the 15, and the 53. So a little bit of a breakaway at the front of this piece. I wouldn't say throw a blanket over them, but you can definitely string a telephone or string a piece of wire between the two with a couple of soup cans and play telephone with how close those guys are running.
Yeah, you could definitely drag the Cat 5 right along those cars right now as they run around the racetrack. How about the 76 of Brian Whitney? Whitney Nation, they have been in the YouTube week in and week out. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, ring that bell, make sure you go ahead and do so. You can join us right here at SRM for all the racing action. We got you covered every single day of the week. So if you go back to last week, Brian Whitney had a race for the ages. This man dominated all phases of the race. Late race caution comes out. Oh, going to the checkered flag. There was some contact. He didn't get the win, but here he is back out in front again right now. I want to see if this man is able to close the deal. He's been so close so many times, Tony. Maybe here in Nashville, maybe as the stars come out tonight, maybe he'll be sitting in victory lane if we can just close out the rest of the race incident-free tonight.
Well, to quote the late Waylon Jennings, you make your own kind of luck here in Music City by putting in the hard work, and it looks like Whitney is definitely putting in work right now as he's starting to pull away from Andrew Ton. We're watching that battle for third between Avila and Seville. Avila, your pole sitter, trying to claw his way back forward as Cody Porter's going to get pit side again. Something happens to the 04. And that is not good news for the Ford camp, as Oscar Jensen has already put it on the hauler.
Yeah, clearly Cody Porter, the Ford F-150 machine, is off the pace. He is already on pit road, getting ready to come into his pit stall here. And I'm not sure what happened there, Tony. Maybe we can find out later in the race. The truck looks like it's in pretty good shape. Not seeing any damage of indicative of an incident out there on the racetrack. But it looks like they're going to go ahead and put 4 tires on it. Plenty of those in the wallet, so why not use a set of those and perhaps get back out there and see what he's got?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still a 4-truck tango up at the front of this piece. Brian Whitney is holding Andrew Ton, Johnny Avila, and Tyler Seville at bay, and they've got a second and a quarter back to the 15 of Brinson. Now, Brinson did receive an EOL penalty for bringing out the third caution when he spun the 04 of Porter, who had led every lap up until that point.
Copy that, and here we go, Tony. Here we go, back up front. 54 machine right now of Andrew Ton, newcomer. He's going to crank it down to the bottom side of the racetrack as they go across the start-finish line, and he's going to be looking for more. Can he outbrake him getting into the corner? Here we go, rotate the center, trying to pick up that throttle. Let's see if he can go ahead and execute the pass. Coming here down the back straightaway, not enough yet. Maybe as they come back towards you, we'll be able to pull it off.
Well, we're going to find out here. That's for darn sure. As there is the pass for the lead as Ton now shows the way. And don't look now, but here comes a very angry Johnny Avila as he got snookered on the initial hit. Now, Matt, you've done this league more times than I have. Apparently, they don't have lane choice?
They do not have lane choice in this league. That is correct. Yeah, that is something that I have thought to myself, up here in the broadcast booth. But I'll tell you what, it has not hurt in the form of entertainment and the quality of racing on the racetrack. In fact, I think it's made for some exciting finishes. But no, they do not have lane choice here, so you're pretty much stuck with what you got.
As now Brinson falls from first to fifth in about 3 laps.
Yeah, that free.
Whitney, Whitney's not having a good time at all. As Brinson now up into third.
I will say this about Whitney. Whitney is a very smart race truck driver. He is probably one of the best in the series at knowing how to conserve his equipment. There's times before in the past where I thought something's off, he's loose, he's tight. No, he was just backing off, letting these guys go ahead and use their tires up, and he silently, almost like a Kevin Harvick, where did he come from? Almost pulled off a couple. So I'm not quite certain he's having a problem with that race truck yet. He could just be sitting there being smart, managing his equipment, and hanging around for when the time comes, down towards the end of the race.
Absolutely. As the field's starting to get a little bit strung out, Seville, Whitney, and Link in the 91 are your closest battle on track right now, with about a half-second separating each of the 3 of them. Now, if you'll notice, he's from Tonassac, Washington. There's quite a few racetracks up in that area, and something that may surprise you, Matt, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but they run the Hornet division and the Street Stock division, whether it's rain or shine.
Really? I was not aware of that. So it doesn't matter what's coming down outside. If it's sunny, great. But if it's raining, if the wind's blowing, if it's a blizzard, they're running regardless, it sounds like.
Well, not necessarily a blizzard in the wintertime. They do it during, a normal race season for anyone north of the Mason-Dixon. But what they have been able to do is, if they didn't race in the rain, they would never get the races in.
Pacific Northwest, I'm not sure if that's where the track is located.
Correct.
Okay. They are no stranger to rain. So with that being said, it makes sense. It'd be really hard to get a race in there. Sometimes you could probably camped out there for a week before you'd get enough dry time to get a race in. So that part makes sense.
Absolutely. As Johnny Avila is now back up into second and trying to reel in Andrew Ton. As Todd's starting to walk away, and you got to think that Avila and Brinson having to claw their way through the field after getting shuffled up with the pit stop there under the last caution.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that 54 machine, he is looking FAST fast. Trucks look like it has great balance. I'm not seeing any type of wiggle or any type of hard wheel inputs watching this man go around the racetrack. That truck is just smooth. It's rolling the apex of the corner. It's coming off the bottom really good, which is the preferred line here. I think you're right, Tony. I think he has this thing hooked up, and he may be at the force that everyone else has to contend with as these laps wind on.
Absolutely, as we're only 13 to go. It'll be 12 to go next time across the stripe for that Union Pacific Chevy Silverado of Andrew Ton.
One thing we have seen here in the Field Fired Up series, Tony, and we've been no stranger to this, is a late race caution. I can't tell you how many times
Bite
you and
your tongue.
Well, you're right. I don't want to be the commentator to make the go-ahead and make the C word come out in the racetrack.
We almost just had it as Avila went for a ride. Let's go take a look at what happened to Johnny here. Got into it with the lap truck. Let's back that up a little bit.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but a lap truck set a pick for the win last week late in the race, so it's not surprising that...
That's the 9 of Tyler Travis right in front of the 63. Leaves the door open and then drifts down the track in the middle of the corner. Avila has to door bang him, and that lets Brinson through. Seville gets through, and here comes the 91 of Link trying to get through, but Avila got that thing back up to speed and currently sits back in the number 2 spot as we go back live. Yeah,
certainly that was a nice recovery there by the 63 of Johnny Avila. He kind of came onto this season late, but he made a big splash as he went 2 for 3 right out of the gate. He has one of those moonlight setups underneath his vehicle, just like the 91 of Alex Link and others. And week in and week out, if you got moonlight, your truck is right up front, that is.
Very much so, as we do need to, again, thank our very good friends at McNamara Dairy. Their family's been farming the banks of the Connecticut River up in Plainfield, New Hampshire since 1950, and today there are 3 generations of McNamara's that live and work on the farm together. They are committed to providing excellent care for both their animals and the quality products being stewarded off the land. For all your dairy needs, you need to look no further than McNamara up in New Hampshire. As we are getting into the closing laps here, as Andrew Ton, 5 laps to go for that Union Pacific number 54. Not quite your biggest mover of the race, but still a pretty decent move, sitting +3. Matt Brinson, currently your biggest mover. There he is, sitting +4. And it's the second time he's had to claw his way towards the front after getting sent to the back after getting into it with the 04 of Cody Porter, who has been on pit road for the last 8 minutes.
Yep, so clearly something happened with that truck. That's why he brought it down pit road. I was hoping from a points perspective he'd be able to get it sorted and get back out there, but does not seem to be the case as he's now being shown 26 laps down. But how about that 54 machine? That Chevrolet Silverado is fired up tonight and still clicking off click laps out there on the racetrack, Tony.
They absolutely are, as the 63 and the 91, the 2 Express eSports teammates, go door to door. The advantage goes to Link right now as Avila battles back going into 1, able to send it a little bit harder on corner entry, but Link's able to get that truck rotated as we are popsicle sticks in the air. There is your race leader taking the white flag. 1 more lap to go. We are racing back to checkers, Matt.
That's right. One more time around the racetrack. The 54 of Andrew Ton. He's got that Silverado linked up. He is fired up. Just got a couple more corners, and he's going to see the start-finish line checkered wave. And here he comes. The 54 machine gets it done here in Nashville.
As we're watching that battle for the final step of the podium, your pole sitter, Johnny Avila, just able to squeak it out by about half a truck length over Alex Link and Tyler Seville. Seville had a great late race charge to round out our top 5 here tonight, but the man of the hour is the driver of that Union Pacific Chevy Silverado, as that is Andrew Ton, as we are going to see if we can find him now to speak with him. Maybe?
I'll tell you what, he's definitely
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this might be our race winner. Andrew Ton, Tony, and Matt up in the booth. Do you have a copy on us, sir?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on winning round number 10 of the Fired Up Esports League Truck Series.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun one.
It looked like it was a lot of fun. Talk us through. You were battling. Unfortunately, you brought out the first caution. You had to go to the tail end of the field. What happened going into 3 on lap 6?
I did. Yeah, it was very early. I hadn't really put together much of a run in practice. It was more for the fast lap and qualifying. And I just entered the corner completely wrong, lost it. Thankfully, I didn't collect any other trucks. Just held the brake until the whole field went by there.
Well, you definitely clawed your way back through this piece, able to duck and dodge the other caution flags that were flying. But how bad was the tire wear when you finally put a new set of shoes on about lap 54?
For me, for my truck, it wasn't terrible. Tires were at like 87%, somewhere around there. It felt great. It felt the longer the run, the better the truck it felt like.
Definitely what it looked like from up here. As the series moves forward, though, we're going to shift gears completely and go to one of the bigger tracks as we go to the Youpers 100 at Michigan next week. What are your thoughts going into that 100-lapper at the house that Penske built?
I think I prefer the shorter tracks, so we'll see how it goes next week. But really, I don't have any high expectations or low expectations. I'm just gonna enter the race and see how it goes, I guess.
All right. Well, Andrew, again, congratulations on the victory. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
I'll thank you guys for the broadcast. Glad you put it on.
Well, thank you for giving us a good show to put on, and best of luck to you next week, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm looking for Matt. I'm not finding him. I believe I don't see Matt Brinson here at all. So,
Guess he had a date with the infield hot dog stand before we could get our hands on him.
sounds like a grand idea, but I believe you've got our pole sitter who came home on the bottom step of the podium tonight, Johnny Avila, with you now.
Johnny, Matt Metler up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Johnny the Rocket, we meet again. Start on the pole tonight. What a blistering lap. You come home in the third position tonight. You get yourself a podium. But I'll tell you what, as far as the racing product that you put out on the racetrack week in and week out, you just leave it all out there on the racetrack, don't you?
Full send all the time.
I'll tell you what, that is indicative of just, having the ability, and so thankful for to watch you race. You and the Moonlight guys, you always seem to really put on a show for these fans in the YouTube and all the other distribution outlets and other partners that we work with. Where did you miss it tonight? Was it the long run setup? Was it just was it the way that?
So I kind of just threw something together on my own, and it did not have the rear end grip that it needed. Like Cody, Link, and like the other Moonlight guys, they had way better drive off than I did tonight. I think I might have just had like my tire pressure's a little bit too high or something. So it was good off the bat, but then after a little bit, like when we had that long green flag run, I was it felt like I was driving on ice on corner entry and exit. So I was just kind of holding on, and then I lucked out with that caution. I was able to get some tires and go again.
Gotcha. So the short run speed was there. Obviously, you started P1. You just didn't have the bite coming off. Look at your truck a couple times sitting there. Where the back end was getting a little twitchy. But that's racing, right? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you nail the setup. But hey, if a bad setup nets you a third place result, that's not too bad. The rest of these guys in this series should be taking note to that.
Yeah, I just gotta be thankful because I definitely had a lot of help over the past year with Cody and Link. So like, I have a pretty big playbook to go back to. So like, I always got a solid base, especially with the guys at Moonlight.
Absolutely. He's your third place finisher tonight. Johnny, who do you want to thank before we cut you loose, sir?
Well, I'd like to thank everybody that puts this league together. It's definitely a lot of fun to come out here and just do these races. It's nice because like it keeps me working on setups and just up to date with what the truck's doing. But I also got to thank all the guys at Moonlight. They definitely have helped me learn a lot, and they always bring out stellar setups. And you guys up in the booth, you guys are great commentators. I'll tell you what.
Well, we certainly appreciate that. There he is, your third place finisher tonight. Wanted a little more, comes home third. Johnny the Rocket Avila. Tony, back to you.
Well, that is going to put another one in the books for us here tonight. Round number 10 done and dusted for the there we go. Done and dusted for the Fired Up Esports League. Round number 10 here at Nashville. Next week, we go to the house the Penske built in the rolling Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan. But tonight, what a race we saw. Andrew Ton coming home on the top step of the podium. Matt Brinson getting treated for heat stroke here, so unable to speak to us post-race. Johnny Avila coming home in third after starting on pole, setting quick time in qualifying. Alex Link coming home in fourth, and Tyler Seville rounding out your top five. Matt?
Yeah, certainly. These guys, the name of the series says it all. It's Fuel Fired Up Series, and these guys are fired up each and every week. Again, big thanks to Whitney Nation, everyone that comes out to support this series live on YouTube. We certainly appreciate you guys being there, showing the love and support. And how about all the other partners and the sponsors that work so hard diligently week in and week out? We certainly couldn't do it without them as well, Tony.
We very much couldn't do that without them. Rounding out the bottom half of your field, Brian Whitney coming home in sixth, Clayton White in seventh, eighth goes to Jeremy Garand, Anthony Emmerich in ninth, Tyler Travis. The last truck still running when the checkers flew in the 9 truck. Cody Porter put it on the hauler early. Actually, has not left pit road still, as they are still trying to get that truck to where it'll load itself onto the hauler. Oscar Jensen deciding to call it quits after only a handful of laps here tonight. So that is going to do it for us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, because we're only a couple of minutes away here from the Sim Racers Edge Round 9 at Indy. So if you want to see some IndyCar racing, click on to the other stream that's getting ready to fire off. Tomorrow night, we've got the doubleheader for you with the Monsters of Speed Next Gen Cup Series as they go to their All-Star race at oh boy, 1, 2, 3, not it. They go to Martinsville, and the iRacing E-Super Speedway Series goes to their next round from Talladega. But that is going to do it for us tonight. For Mr. Matt Metler, this is Tony Trapasso. Remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again and as you walk down the road of life this week, whatever you do, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.